Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. My name's Will, and this is the Win Me YouTube channel. You already know I gotta hit you with this really quick sales pitch. If you get to the end of this video and you enjoyed it, you like this type of automotive content, you like modification videos, all of that kind of cool jazz, think about hitting that subscribe button down below. It's totally free, but if you don't want to subscribe, a like is always really appreciated as well, guys. Now, with that BS out of the way, we can get into today's video. Crazy to say, but we are already at that 1 year mark with my 2024 Lexus GX 550. So I figured today would be perfect time to just give you a full overview, ownership experience, cost breakdown on what it's like to own and run the GX 550. So in the 1 year, we have definitely driven this thing quite a bit. This is my wife's primary daily driver, but we like to call it the family rig because it's our primary family vehicle. So yes, my wife does drive this as her primary daily driver, but when we're together as a family unit, I'm typically driving this, so we both have some good seat time in this thing. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into all of this. Like I said, we've put close to 22,000 miles on the GX, which is pretty crazy to say, you know, within 1 year. But yeah, we've definitely put our seat time in. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn you around, show you the GX, go over all of my specs, and then we can get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty. This is my 2024 Lexus GX 550. This is a premium plus trim. So if you're not too familiar with like the Lexus trims, I'll give you a quick rundown. There's premium, which is kind of like the base model, you know, version of the GX. Then there is the luxury trim, which is obviously the more luxurious option. And then there's the Overtrail, which is the more off-road focused trim. And in between each one of those, there is a plus. So there's a premium plus, Overtrail plus, and luxury plus. So this is the premium plus, so it's like the base model, but the one step up. We paid right around $73,000 for this. We didn't pay any markup. That was MSRP. Very lucky that we didn't have to do the whole waiting game with the dealership. We got a really cool sales associate that called us right away at our local dealership, and they let us know that, hey, the person that ordered this backed out. Do you want it? And we were there within the hour making the deal. So we got to skip that crazy 1 to 1.5 year wait to get a GX. So super thankful to my dealership for, you know, doing that for us. But obviously, as you can see here, our GX is definitely not stock. I've done a full build overview on my channel, so if you're like first time viewer here, go check out the whole GX 550 playlist. Quite a few videos I've posted up there, one of them basically going over the whole build on here, questions and all of that. But just as a really quick run through, this is on a Westcott lift kit. I believe it's a 2.5 inch perch collar lift. Then we are on a set of 22 inch Vossen hybrid forged wheels, and then we are sitting on some 285 55 22 Recon grapplers, Nitto tires. So for lack of better words, they're like a 34.4 inch tire. So we like to just round it up and say it's on a 35 inch tire. Did have to do a little bit of a bumper trim here to fit that, but like I said, if you want to see more in-depth video, go check out this one right up here. Get a lot of questions and a lot of comments from the peanut gallery running this whole setup. A lot of people saying the perch collar lifts destroys the ride quality. It doesn't. Typically people that are saying that have had no experience with a perch collar lift. This is the third vehicle I've had on a perch collar lift. I had my TRX, my Raptor, and my GX. Does not destroy the ride quality, guys. Don't be nervous by that. But hey, if you want to spend, you know, $5,000 getting some king coilovers for your pavement princess, because let's be honest, this is a pavement princess for us and for a majority of people, by all means go for it, guys. That's pretty rad. But I wasn't about to do that, so the perch collar lift was perfectly fine for me. But other than the wheels, tires, suspension, you can see right up there, I installed the Land Cruiser First Edition roof rack. It is a direct replacement for your, you know, your factory roof rails and all of that. I have a full install video on the channel, so you can go and check that out as well. But besides all of that, everything else is pretty much stock. The GX 550 unfortunately does not have a V8. Yes, I wish it did have a V8. Being a V8 guy, this is a pretty big vehicle, so I feel like a V8 would have been pretty awesome to have. But it does have the 3.4 twin turbo V6 engines producing 349 horsepower and 470 foot-pound-feet of torque, so it is a pretty high-strung V6. Doesn't feel like too much of a slouch. This vehicle is coming in at roughly 5,600 pounds, so it is pretty heavy, but the V6 definitely makes up for it. It's stated at a 6.5 second 0 to 60. Now that's probably in absolute perfect conditions. I would say you're probably closer to like that 7.5 second mark, but again, you're not buying a GX, you know, to break any sort of quarter-mile times or, you know, trap speeds, anything like that. By far not the quickest vehicle on the road, but it definitely doesn't feel like a slouch either. So if you're nervous that this thing doesn't have a V8 and it's going to be like an absolute just weight and anchor on the road, don't be nervous. It definitely can get out of its own way, and it can definitely boogie when it needs to. A few other basic, you know, stats on my vehicle. This is the caviar paint, so it has like a ton of metallic flake in there. It looks really nice. A lot of people think it's kind of like a gray when they see it in person because it has so much metallic flake in there, but this is considered their black. I actually really love it. On the interior, I have the saddle interior, so it's like that two-toned black and tan. You get the tan in the middle, and then like the bolstering on the exterior is all black. Give you a quick rundown of the front right here, and then in the rear I have the two captain's chairs option. So standard, I believe it's the bench, or you can get the two captain's chairs. I think this looks really cool. Have my daughter's car seat, so yeah, if you have a little one and you need to run a car seat, it totally fits in the captain's chairs. And then in the rear I have the third row currently folded down just for storage. So yep, that's a full overview of the interior. So yeah, that's pretty much the complete rundown of my vehicle. So now how about we talk about some of the dark side of the GX and go over a few issues that I've had with mine. First things first, let's talk about the brakes. Pretty common issue, and unfortunately for me, like many other GX 550 owners, I had the squeaking brakes. Now I made a full video going over all of this, and I said in that video, and I'll reiterate it here, that my issue wasn't as bad as some of the other people that I've seen posting out there. Some other people had absolutely horrendous squeaking brakes, to the point where is if I had just bought a new vehicle and my brakes sounded like that, I would have been livid, because even like with the small squeaking that I had, I was pretty annoyed. But some of these other ones were absolutely horrendous, and I believe what they did was changed out the rotors and installed like some new shims in the brakes, like in the calipers, and as soon as they did that, the whole issue was gone. Luckily for me, I got the repair done pretty quickly. I do know when you have this issue, you need to contact the dealership. I don't know if this is the same case now, but when I had my issue, there was a back order on the parts, so it was about a 2-month wait for the parts to get in, and then it was literally like a 1-day install on just fixing everything. But yeah, if you have that issue with your GX, contact your dealership, get on the list for the repair to get done, because it's night and day difference. Next thing was the hood flutter. Mine wasn't as dramatic as some of the other people's I've seen, but I did obviously want to get it, you know, repaired. Luckily for me, they were able to adjust like the hinge points along the rear, and then kind of like the bump stops on the front, and that really eliminated like 90% of the hood flutter for me anyway. Lexus did come out with a full service bulletin, and I made a dedicated video on this as well. Go check it out if you wanted in a little bit more detail. But what they had said was the outer skin of the hood basically separates from the internal skeleton framing of the hood, and as wind is going underneath into the engine compartment, it's creating turbulence, and that's what you're seeing vibrate, is basically the outer exterior skin bouncing from the skeletal framing of the hood. So basically, and again, I said this in my other video, but they came out with, in my opinion, a BS repair where basically you're injecting like adhesive at certain points underneath the hood, and then when it all cures together, it bonds the exterior to the framing. But I've seen a few repairs basically get botched, where now you're seeing like dimples on the exterior from when that adhesive hardens. So personally for me, I think it's a cop-out repair, but a few other people have said they've had theirs done and great success, no issues or anything like that. My opinion, Lexus should have just given us an updated hood, but that's just my opinion. Now, the biggest issue and most annoying issue, in my opinion, was the hard downshifting. And I made a full video on this as well, but on my GX and on quite a few other GXs from, you know, posting and seeing inside the Facebook groups, is that there is a really harsh downshift going from second into first gear. And it's pretty noticeable. Like, I'm like kind of downplaying it right now, but yeah, it's something that you definitely would not expect from picking up a, you know, damn near $80,000 brand new vehicle to have this harsh of a downshift. And I've experienced this almost from day one with my GX, and a few other owners have as well. And luckily, I don't know when this video, I'm gonna have it live on the channel, but Lexus has finally just issued that service bulletin, so you can contact your local dealership, your service advisor, and you can get the repair done now for it. It's a software update, basically, where you need to go bring your vehicle over there. They update the software. I've already had this done, so I'm not going to harp on it too much in this video because, again, I don't know if I've already posted that other transmission video out there, but I have had it done. Go check out that other video, you know, basically highlighting the whole experience for it. But thankfully, after like almost a year now, because that's how long it's taken Lexus to come out with this repair, we finally have the repair, and all of us can take a nice deep breath and an exhale that we finally have this repair. Time will tell if this repair actually, you know, resolves all the issues, or if this was basically just like another hard reset on the transmission. But thankfully, all of that has been repaired now, and I have to say, I have no other issues with my GX. Drives great, fit, finish, quality of everything is great. I can't comment on, you know, the stock tires or anything because obviously I'm running the aftermarket ones, but ride quality is great, even with the modifications. My wife absolutely loves it, which is the most important to me because this is her dream vehicle, and you know, it's her daily driver, so she loves it. Happy wife, happy life for me. But you know, even for myself, I absolutely love this thing as well. This basically took the spot in our garage of my Ram TRX. Now I do have a Raptor as well, so this didn't necessarily fill the spot for the truck, but as like the big family vehicle, my TRX kind of handled the heavy lifting there. But now this GX is kind of handling that. So yeah, I absolutely love it. Wife loves it. No real other major issues other than those. I know some people like to jump down my throat saying that, oh, those issues are really major and all of that, but I guess it's all kind of relative. I wouldn't say any of the issues I had were super major. It didn't, you know, compromise us driving the vehicle or anything like that. It's kind of like first world problems. No, I'm not trying to downplay the transmission issue because it was very annoying, but now with the repair out there, you know, I'm happy. My wife's happy. It's driving great. So for what it's worth, we're all happy. All right, guys, jumped inside the GX now. Sorry if I look like super sweaty, but it's literally 93 degrees right now in Florida and super humid, so I had to jump inside and get a little bit of air conditioning. But so I apologize for like the sweaty appearance, but I figured now I would just go ahead and cover like the cost of ownership for me anyway. This is going to be like totally subjective to wherever you live, you know, in the country or, you know, around the globe, but this is just, you know, my firsthand experience for cost. I live in South Florida, live in Palm Beach County, just for reference. So yeah, like I said earlier, the cost, I have it all written down here, so if you see me pointing down, I just have a few notes, but cost of the vehicle was roughly around $73,000 for the whole build. You know, for our, you know, little build, if you want to call it. Wheels, $3,200, tires, $2,200, lift kit was $500, roof rack was $500, and then install for the perch collar kit, and then as well as an alignment was an additional like $500. So that's roughly like somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000 if you wanted to do a similar build. Like I said, cost of the vehicle was right around that 73,000 mark. This is a premium plus, so obviously you could go a little bit cheaper with just going to premium, or if you want to go all the way up to the luxury, you're like into like the $90,000 mark, and same with like an Overtrail plus. So there's quite a bit of variation there depending on the trim level for, you know, your specific GX that you want to buy. Now another big controversial thing with the GX, and I've even covered this in some of my prior videos, and that is the whole fuel capacity as well as, you know, miles per gallon and all of that. It's by no means is this a fuel efficient vehicle. It's to be expected, the big vehicle. Unfortunately, the fuel tank, in my opinion, and a lot of other owners, is that it's way too small. It's a, what is it here? It's a 21 gallon fuel tank. So that sounds like it could be a lot, but for something this big, I really do wish it would have been at least a 25, maybe even going close to like a 30 gallon fuel tank. I definitely think you could have, you know, fit that on here, but I digress. But I have it kind of broken down here. So just average fuel cost for us, and I did like averages of everywhere here. Like I said, I'm in South Florida, but I have 22,000 miles on my GX. The average price for fuel in South Florida for the duration of time that I own this, and something I got to reinforce here, is that they call for premium fuel in the GX 550. So we've always ran premium. Premium fuel in Florida is 93 octane, and the price for that was on average $3.85. Now, average miles per gallon that we are getting on our rig, as I'm gonna round this up, and I'm gonna say it's 14 miles per gallon. It's right around, if I'm reading the dash right now, it's 13.5. So again, just to keep math simple, I'm rounding it up to 14 miles per gallon. And that puts us at right around the $75 to $80 per fill up, you know, putting, you know, gas in there. And again, this is just like an average right there. And our average miles per tank is anywhere from 250 to 275. And that's where the argument comes into place that, you know, as a commuter vehicle, having a sub 300 mile fuel range is pretty shitty, and I agree with that. I've been a big advocate for that the entire time. I'm definitely going to be getting an extended fuel tank for this as soon as one's available, but some people seem to get, you know, slightly better fuel range. You know, I have larger tires on there, heavier, you know, wheels and all of that, so maybe that takes, you know, a factor on there. Also, a lot of highway driving versus city driving, that's always going to give a variation. But I actually asked my wife, you know, what she would say the average range is, and she said it's around 250 miles. And again, she's driving this day in and day out. And just for reference here, I'll show you this. I have the vehicle on right now, and as you can see, there's the fuel right there, and it's slightly over half a tank, and you can see the range, it's at 133 miles. So yeah, I'm not BSing anything right there. You just saw it firsthand. So for total cost, annual cost for fueling for the year, we're at $6,400. Then obviously that's give or take a few $100s there, but just to keep the math super simple, $6,400 annual fuel bill to run this. And that's, you know, for driving 22,000 miles, which is probably twice the amount that a normal person might drive. Insurance costs, we're in South Florida. This is always going to be dependent on like the person. This is very subjective. Obviously depends on like your age and your driving record. I'm 36 years old. My wife is 33 years old. We both have clean driving records, and we pay $195.31 per month. So South Florida insurance is a little expensive. So if you're like, whoa, that's crazy, but we're kind of used to that here. Now, maintenance. If you don't have like a maintenance plan and you want to get your vehicle completely serviced at Lexus, they charge $125 per oil change and tire rotation. And I'm assuming every dealer is going to have a different price, but that's our local dealership. That's how much they charge. You want to get your oil change done every 35 to 5,500 miles. Lexus will say you can go full 10,000 miles without doing an oil change. And if you want to do that, you can totally do that, but I would probably say get it around like that 5,000-6,000 mile range. And, you know, like I said, if you're doing it that way, you know, you're maybe spending $250 to $300 a year on servicing, getting it done at the dealership. So fuel bill is a little bit high if you drive a lot, but it's to be expected. And again, if you're buying like an $80,000 SUV, fuel probably isn't your biggest concern. Maintenance wise, it's a Toyota, it's a Lexus. Maintenance is, it's not going to be all that expensive. It's not like, you know, you're servicing a Porsche or any other German vehicle like that. It's relatively inexpensive. So cost of ownership, I would say it's not terrible, but you know, that's just, you know, my 2 cents on it. I would love to hear your guys' opinion, so comment down below and let me know what you guys think, if this is a crazy expensive rig to own and operate, or if you think this is, you know, pretty normal given the circumstance and caliber of vehicle. All in all, this thing drives like a dream. It's like a big old land yacht. I absolutely love it. It's not like the most luxurious, you know, vehicle, but again, this is marketed as Lexus's off-road adventure vehicle. So if you want something a little bit more luxurious, maybe look into the LX model. But I personally really like the interior. I think it's a great mix of luxury and class mixed with a little bit of off-road ruggedness, so it kind of walks that fine line. But yeah, I absolutely love it. The wife loves it. It drives great, brakes good, it can definitely get out of its own way. And yeah, I think if you guys are on the fence about picking up one of these, definitely go test drive one, and I think you will be pleasantly surprised. And another thing I will comment on, if you live in like a hot, muggy climate like I do in South Florida, those ventilated seats feel absolutely amazing on your ass. So thank you, Lexus, for that. And another massive plus and A plus from Lexus is that there is no auto start stop feature in the GX 550. Very rare to see nowadays. Even my Raptor has auto stop start, and I absolutely hate it. It drives me crazy. Now I know it's very first world problems because all you got to do is push a button to disable it, but yeah, it's annoying as hell. And thank you so much, Lexus, for not putting one of those in this rig. And I get a lot of other comments from people on my videos saying that they are waiting for the hybrid version of the GX to come out. And in like the Asian market, they have the 4-cylinder engine in this, so like the same engine, the iForce Max, that you would see in the Land Cruiser, and you can get it optioned in the 4Runner, stuff like that. It's a good engine, but I just can't see going down to a 4-cylinder in this engine. I really do think the V6 is probably the smallest power plant you would want in this large of a vehicle, but you know, that's just my 2 cents. I wouldn't want a 4-cylinder in this thing. So again, I'm just kind of assuming that that's what Toyota and Lexus is going to do. They're going to put some sort of iForce Max hybrid assisted power plant in this. I can't see them developing a whole new hybrid V6 engine to put in this when they have the iForce Max that's sitting there, and it's already in the Asian market in the GX. So I really do think that they're just going to kind of carry that over North America and Europe and all of that. I really do think they're just going to carry that over. But let me know what you guys think. That's my guess, but comment down below and let me know what you guys think the hybrid GX 550 is going to be. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to share just some insight with you guys out there, whether you are a GX 550 owner or you're looking to pick up one of these for yourselves. Just thought I would, you know, share my 2 cents for what it's worth. Now, sum it all up, I love this thing, zero regrets whatsoever. It's an absolutely great rig. It's a pavement princess for us, so I can't comment on the off-road experience on it, but from what I've seen, these things are an absolute blast off-road. So, you know, go check out one of those other channels if you are actually really planning on off-roading this thing. But for us, as a family hauler, it's sick. We love it. Zero regrets. But as always, guys, thanks for kicking it with me today. My name's Will. This is the Wimmy YouTube channel. Comment, like, subscribe, all those things always really appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.